Hello friends, welcome back to Learning Nails and Aesthetics. We are in the Milady Esthetics book, Chapter 7, The Treatment Room, continuing on page 284. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe, as well as check out my other videos. Also, I am not AI, so mistakes will be made. Perform pre- and post-service procedures. It is easier to keep track of what you are doing, remain organized, and give consistent service when you practice setting up. Practice should be applied to a treatment room or station and supply trolley. Review of proper procedures for cleaning and resetting a room, both for between clients and at the end of the day, is also imperative. Following are 2 practice procedures to master each of these activities. 1. Pre-service, preparing the treatment room. And 2. Post-service, cleaning up and preparing for the next client. Like an actor rehearsing their lines, repetitive practice will enhance your performance as an esthetician and increase your value as a skincare professional. Procedure 7-1. Pre-service, preparing the treatment room. Check your room supply of linens, towels, and sheets, and replenish as needed. For the first appointment of the day, preheat your towel warmer, towels, wax heater, steamer, and any other equipment as needed. I don't know about the steamer. I would find out approximately how long it takes for it to start producing steam. Because if you have it heated up and it's just steaming and steaming away, that water goes fairly quickly. So you can't just pour more water into the hot glass steamer container because it will burst. So keep an eye on the level and refilling. You'll figure it out, really. I would time it. I know it sounds a little crazy, but if you run out of steam in the middle of a facial, or you don't even have any at all to start, I mean, that's not good. So if you're working with other people, they'll be familiar with the equipment. I would ask them. But that's just the main thing on this that yells out to me, don't start the steamer when you first get there. Find out how much time it takes for it to start producing steam. Okay. Time needed 10 to 15 minutes. And there's a lot of other things like that. Well, the towel warmer is going to take longer to warm up the towels, probably, than the steamer is going to take to start producing steam. But if you're working for someone else, they probably have all that stuff already figured out. I would ask ahead of time. You don't want to find yourself in a situation with a client. Materials, implements, and equipment. Please note, actual products will vary depending on the client's recommended treatment plan. Additional equipment and supplies to consider is mentioned earlier in the chapter. Equipment. Facial equipment. Treatment table, stool, towel, warmer, steamer, magnifying lamp. Trolley, this is a little repetitive. Client charts, close lid, garbage cans. Notice every single time they mention a garbage can or a hamper, it has a lid, closed lid. Supplies, a twin-size flatbed sheet, backup is needed. EPA registered disinfectant, hand sanitizer and liquid soap, dish soap, mixing bowls. Again with the hiccups. Mixing bowls, 2 bowls of warm water without a sink in the room. See, 2 bowls. I told you on that picture earlier, they only had 1. I knew that was wrong. Handheld mirror, spatula, hand towels, 2 to 4, linens, bolster, pillows, facial cape to drape the client. Now, single-use items. Disposable or synthetic brushes. 2. Gloves. Aesthetic wipes, 4x4 for cleaning, or disposable sponges. cotton rounds or squares, cotton swabs, makeup sponges for application of masks and makeup, headband or protective cap, plastic bag, paper towels, spatulas, tissues, unscented, products, eye makeup remover or cleanser, facial toner, 1 cream and 1 gel, masks, moisturizer, serum, astringent or toner, and sunscreen. Review the daily schedule. Review your client schedule for the day and decide which products you are likely to need for each service. Make sure you have enough of all the products you will be using that day. You may have to retrieve additional product from the dispensary. This is also a good time to refresh your mind about each repeat client you will be seeing that day and their individual concerns. Retrieve the client's intake form or service record card and review it. If the appointment is for a new client, the client will need a new intake form. B. Equipment preparation. Time needed. Preheating equipment can take up to 15 minutes. Turn on the wax heater as needed. Check and adjust the temperature. Preheat the towel warmer and put in wet towels. Note: towels should not be dripping wet. Preheat the steamer. First, check the steamer water level. It should be just slightly below the fill line. If necessary, refill the steamer. Follow the manufacturer's directions for care. Refer to Chapter 10, Facial Devices and Technology, for steamer information. Preheat any other equipment needed. Wash your hands with soap and warm water before setting up and touching clean items. Place 1 sheet lengthwise on the treatment table. Place 1 hand towel lengthwise on top of the sheet at the head of the table. Lay out another hand towel for placement over the décolleté or the upper chest area if applicable. Place the second sheet lengthwise on top of the first. Fold the top 1/4 of the second sheet back horizontally, then fold the sheet diagonally across the table. Place the blanket on top of the linens to keep the client warm and comfortable. Have a clean headband and gown or wrap ready for the client. Have a bolster and pillow available. Now, there are pictures for all of this if you are just listening. And as I always say, if you are driving, no looking, not even a peek. You can watch it again later. Setting up supplies. Let's see, we're continuing. Check to make sure the disinfectant is ready. Wet disinfectants are filled and changed according to the manufacturer's instructions. Check to see that the strength is maintained by regular refilling. Now, this they could have worded a little bit better. Check to make, I'm going to repeat it and point out what I'm talking about here. Check to make sure the disinfectant is ready. Wet disinfectants are filled and changed according to the manufacturer's instructions. Check to see that the strength is maintained by regular refilling. Okay, if you have a bottle of disinfectant, these are supposed to be disposed of typically at the end of the day. If you have not used it, it gets disposed of. Now, when they say refilling it, that means you need to empty that container first. You don't just add to it. But again, manufacturer's directions. But normally, when these things are mixed, they have a very short shelf life after that. And it's usually just for the day. We do go over that in other chapters, but you don't want to use something that's not working properly when you think it's clean and it's not. That can be a real problem. Moving on. Place supplies on a clean towel, paper, or cloth on the clean and disinfected workstation. Put out supplies in the orders used. Line up neatly. And if any supplies or products are uncovered, cover with another towel until you are ready to use them. Set up the professional trolley with supplies and disposables. See the list of materials needed and the visual for reference. Dispense only the amount of product needed for the service. Setting up the dressing area. Arrange a clean robe or spa wrap folded on a small table for the client to change into. Note, for a facial bar, clothing is not removed. Have cold water or tea ready for the client. Preparing for the client. Organize yourself by taking care of your personal needs before the client arrives. Stretch, use the restroom, get a drink of water, return personal calls, so you can focus your full attention on their needs. Remember to turn off electronic devices to eliminate any distractions. Take a moment to clear your head of all your personal concerns and issues. Referencing Procedure 5-3, proper hand washing located in Milady Standard Foundations, wash your hands before going to greet your client. And again, they're noting their other book, the Milady Standard Foundations book, which I have videos on, so watch those. It is a companion to this book as well as their nail book. The client has arrived. Proceed to follow the steps outlined in Procedure 8-1, pre-service. Prepare the client for treatment. Procedure 7-2, post-service. Clean up and preparation for the next client. Time needed, 10 to 15 minutes. End of service checklist. At the end of the service, the esthetician must clean the treatment room and ready it for the next client. Create an end of service checklist that works for your space. Not everyone will complete the post-service steps in the same order. Place all soiled laundry linens, towels, and sheets in a covered receptacle. See again, covered receptacle. Discard any used disposables into a covered trash container. Disposable extraction lancets go in a sharp disposal container. Check OSHA and state rules for proper handling. Did you know? Do not put wet brushes in a closed drawer or container because moisture can cause mildew and not dry properly. Lay brushes out to dry, covered with a clean towel before storing in a closed container. Wipe down all equipment with an EPA-approved disinfectant. Clean trolley and workstation surfaces. Clean and disinfect the bottom tray and the inside of the towel warmer after removing all used items. Remember what I said about that? Reset products and disposable items and replenish clean robes and spa wraps. Use an antibacterial dish soap and warm water to wash the used bowls. Rinse and dry thoroughly. Change linen on the treatment table. End of day checklist. At the end of the day, be sure to follow these procedures. Complete the end of day service checklist and check the schedule for the next shift or workday. Use an end of day checklist to make sure you do not forget anything. Turn off and unplug all equipment. Leave the towel warmer door open to dry and empty the tray underneath before cleaning and disinfecting it. It is very important to leave that door open. You will leave it open overnight if it is the end of the day. Do not close that door. Clean everything that has not been cleaned after the last service, including the equipment, table, sink, counters, and doorknobs. Refill all containers, supplies, and the steamer. I don't know if I'd refill the steamer, having stagnant water in there. I don't know, but again, it's going to be your employer's protocol with that kind of thing. So, I don't know, the steamer just really bothers me, I guess. Bacteria growth, moisture, heat, it's prime for bacteria growth. Anyway, check floors, sweep or mop as required. Check for wax spills. Empty waste containers. Replace with clean trash liners. Remove personal items from the area and say, I'm out of here. See you later. That's just what the lady in the picture looks like she's thinking as she's walking away. Competency progress. How are you doing with the treatment room? Check the Chapter 7 learning objectives below that you feel you have mastered. Leave unchecked those objectives you will need to return to. Explain why treatment room preparation is an integral part of providing treatments. Review the elements of an esthetician's professional appearance. Outline essential room and station structural features. Describe the ideal ambiance, furniture, and equipment for facials. Properly manage treatment room supplies and products. Be able to set up a facial treatment area, such as a facial bar or station. Prepare the treatment room for services. Properly clean and disinfect the treatment room. Perform pre- and post-service procedures to meet safety and health requirements. Now this is Chapter 7, the treatment room, and the glossary. Very short on this one, and I can actually pronounce all the words, so that's a plus. Dispensary, room or area used for mixing products and storing supplies. Facial station, also known as facial bar, skincare treatment area within the reception or retail area of the facility where clients can have express skincare treatments without having to change clothes. Implements, tools used by estheticians to perform services. Implements can be multi-use or single-use. Trolley, a rolling cart that holds tools, supplies, and products. And every time I hear that word, I think of London. Why is that? Maybe, I don't know. It also reminds me of Thomas the Tank Engine my kids used to watch when they were little. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And have a great day. Thanks. Bye.